Okay. Awesome. It's under record now. So like I said, as you guys, if you want to let people know that have been normally on that we're starting, usually there's a lot, as I said before we started recording, there's anywhere sometimes from 30 people to 25 people to now 10, right? Including, or 11, including me and Lisa. So we're going to do them anyway. Like, I'm just going to challenge you guys tonight. Like, I think these calls keep getting better and better and better and better. And I'll tell you why. I'm not going to mention his name, but I had somebody in my cross line that's in my what you would call it my uplines organization down. I'm just going to say from the Cunninghams down, and I'm going to leave it at that. Okay. Who is a pro 6 in this company. And he says, Mike, I've been watching what you've been doing. I know that you guys are starting over. And he said, I feel like I've started over. And how many of you guys have heard me say that the person that asks the most questions wins, right? Okay. And let me tell you this is anything that you do in life. Okay. And Stacy can tell you, because Stacy has followed a lot of the same people that I've started to follow, which has inspired him and encouraged him. And he can tell you that a lot of the same messages is the person that builds the most relationships and asks the most questions is the person that goes farther. And so tonight, I actually, I'll mute everybody. Tracy says, let me mute everybody. Mute all. Thank you, Tracy. So this person said to me, Mike, I really like what you're doing. Can I start having me and my team come to your calls? I said, absolutely. So that's just going out to everybody that wants to know that if you want to come and join us, I'm going to tell you this. I've been saying it for a couple weeks. I'm starting over. Okay. Am I an elite distributor? Yes. Am I starting over? Yes. Lisa and I have a whole new vision and a purpose for what we're going to do. And she knows that I want to do this with her, but I am not going to rely on anybody on my team to step into. And I want to share something with you guys that we're going to find out where they are. Tonight, I texted Jason Kokinzie before we got started. And so sorry, I got distracted. I asked somebody to come on and say a couple things, but she just got back to me, but I'm not gonna have her come on. But here's what I want you guys to be encouraged by, okay? Is that no matter where you are, whether you're a pro 2 or a pro 1 or a pro 0, whatever you may be, okay? I'm where you are, okay? I am building a whole new team. And if you're on my team, it's and I think a lot of you guys know me well enough to know that it's not a reflection on who you are or what you are, because I have leaders on my team. But here's what I want to do. I want to go create more leaders, because here's what I've learned from Jason, okay? And I don't know if you guys have seen these, but there's these LifeVantage is doing these monthly trainings now, okay? And they're through, everybody's shaking their head, so they've seen them. And Jason, no, Lisa's going to look. We've been trying to find where they're actually are. We think they're in the back office, but we're not sure. So we're going to find out. Lisa's going to try to search by the time we get done with the calls. You know, where Brett Brimhall did one, Nancy Bryan did one, Tara Wilson did one, and Jason just did one on leaders. And guys, I took one takeaway from it. Leaders attract leaders. Okay. Okay. Leaders attract leaders. Okay. I'm going to be vulnerable with you guys tonight and tell you that the move has been challenging. Okay. When you pick up and leave someplace that you've been for 27 years and you move where you know absolutely nobody. Okay. But I'll just tell you this. I've been here a month. I've not met one person that knows what we have. Okay. Not one. No one's even heard of it. Okay. The closest distributor to me is an hour away. Okay. Exactly, Vic. When you step out of your comfort zone and you do things that stretch you, and when God says go, you go. You don't worry about what, to most people, what we're doing and what we have doesn't make sense. right? Okay, so they are on the official LifeVantage Independent page. Okay, on the official LifeVantage Independent page. Can you pull one up and show so I can show them on my phone? Okay, yes. So here's one. Here's what they look like. Here's one that just was done in February by Sharice Matthews. So all of the new, you just have to scroll through them. Here's one that Brett Brimhall did on the products and the science. So I would encourage you guys to go back and listen to all of them. There's another one by Clinton and Kimberly Boyles, who you guys got to hear on a call just about 6 weeks ago. So what I want you guys to do is just to go back and listen. When they have these yes, exactly, Sherry. When they have these calls, you go back and you listen to them. This one was done with 3 of my favorite people, Kimberly and Clinton Boyles and Louie, okay? And I am preparing my presentation for building depth, and I love getting up in front of people, right? I love inspiring people. And the reason that I do these calls every week is because I'm hoping that we have the ability to inspire you, okay? If it allows you to stay involved in this company until the Lord comes back or takes you home, then I've done what I'm supposed to do, right? As a person, I've encouraged you. Like I always pick on Stacy because he always seems so relaxed, right? Like I always say, look at Stacy. He looks like he's just relaxed, like somebody should be fanning him or rubbing his right. But here's the piece. I can tell you that if I ask Stacy tomorrow what we talked about tonight, he'll be able to tell me. You know why? Because he has his camera on. He's got his notebook and he's not distracted. Okay. I don't know if you guys saw my post that I did on Facebook, but I'm going to put it into a YouTube video this week on the law of the environment. Okay. And I want to encourage you guys that a lot of you guys, your environment is not subject for you to grow and change. Okay. Some of you are in what we call a toxic environment. And you know what? You guys know that I'm pretty transparent about who I am and what I stand for. I'm in the greatest learning stage of my life. I'll just tell you this. I'm not the same person I was last week, the week before that, the week before that. I'm a better husband. I'm a better friend. I love God more today than I've ever loved God in my life. I had some things that if you would have, I had a relationship that just in the last couple of days of one of my clients that really bothered me, right? And it could have bothered me to send me down a path, right? But it didn't. Guys, my identity is not in what other people say. It's only in the direction that God is moving me and taking me and inspiring me. If you're not inspired by that, then I don't know how to inspire you. But tonight, I took this off the Elite page and I asked both of them if I could use this. And so I have got access to some social media training that were done in this last enrollment phase. And now I hope you guys know that, and I'm going to show you a couple things before I go into that, because here's what I want you guys to do. A lot of you, because I can see, and some of you I can't, but I know because I just know you, have not registered for the regionals and you've not registered for convention. Okay. I'm just telling you guys that we have, right? We've registered for them both. And I told you guys, even though I missed Cancun, I don't consider it as me missing an event because there was a circumstance that happened. I couldn't leave right in the middle of my house closing 2 weeks before it was supposed to close. Just is what it is. Right. And so, but there is nothing short of one of us dying that will keep me from being at the regional and will keep me from being at convention. It's just not going to happen. All right. I would say that I had a little bit of FOMO from not being at the Cancun one, but guess what? it inspired me to go out and do what I'm doing with you guys today. And that's changing my focus. You know, my grandmother, I never quite understood this until I got older in life. And she used to say to me, because she liked races, like she liked horse races and dog races. She just liked to compete, right? Like she was a huge Cincinnati Reds fan, made me like the Reds, like, you know, Johnny Bench and all the Reds, like the big red machine, right? So I grew up a Reds fan, right? And she said, did you ever understand why they put at the dog track, why they put the rabbit on the inside of the track? And she said, if they put it on the outside of the track, the dogs would go run into the fence or they'd go in the stands because they'd be distracted, right? How many of you feel sometimes like you're chasing a dog that's on the outside of the fence, right? Because you're so distracted, right? And here's one of the things that I've learned that leaders do. John Maxwell has a paper calendar, okay? And I'm just telling you, if you, do you guys want me to tell you what the number one mistake I made in 2019 was? Is that I spent money on things that I did not implement. Okay. When I came back from this last building depth event that we're getting ready to have another one in March that I'm super freaking excited about, is that I came back inspired. I go to events because I know we're supposed to go to events, but when I come back, and this time we're having a VIP for people who enrolled people at the last event. We're going to be in Vegas. I'm going to be racing race cars, doing some really fun things. How many of you would like to race cars? I know Stacy would, because he's competitive, right? I know Vic would. So here's what I want to tell you guys is that, and I'm going to do this really quick. Let me share something with you guys really, really quick, because I saw this today and I thought it was really cool. And so I wanted to share it with you guys. Hold on. Let me just pull this up really quickly. All right. So, I don't know if some of you guys saw this, but this came out today and I wanted to show it to you guys to inspire you because it kind of inspired me. I don't know if you guys saw this, but let me play this real quick. It's just very short. It's like 1 minute and 30 seconds. Anybody seen that yet? Okay, so a couple of you guys have. Okay, so this my speaker is not working. My audio not working? My audio is working, Stacy?
Your audio is fine, but when you played that sound, it was really awful.
Really? Okay. I know why, because of the Yeti. It's all right. It doesn't matter. It'll work out. It says I'm muted, honey. All right.
You're not.
I'm not.
No, we can hear you.
Yep, your volume's on.
Now we can't hear you.
You're muted now. Uh-oh. And you froze.
Now you froze.
How about now?
Now we can hear you, but I can't see you're moving.
Yeah, you're not moving though.
What the heck?
Aha, better.
Seriously,
Moving
I got a high-speed modem thing that's in an Ethernet cord, so I have no idea what's happened.
You're good now.
Are you sure?
Yep.
Okay.
You're moving and I can hear you.
Okay. Sorry, it keeps saying check your connection or use a different speaker. That's what it says. I don't know why it's saying that. But so here's what I want to challenge you guys to do. By next week, I want you to text me or post in our Facebook page, in our Freedom Fighters or in our Team Build It Up page. I want you guys to post that you have enrolled for the regional in within the area of where you go. I know a lot of people are packing cars together and going together, but I would like for you guys to do that. Lisa and I are going to the one in Jacksonville. We have a lot of our team from Atlanta are coming down there. I'm just telling you guys this. People that are registered for this event is how I'm going to schedule my schedule over the next couple months. If my team in Ohio gets a group of people together and goes down to Indianapolis, I'm coming to Ohio in March. I am coming to Atlanta at the end. If you guys have guests in the Atlanta area or you know people in the Atlanta area, I'm going to be there the end of this month, the last Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of the month. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We're going to have meetings. We're going to have a training on Saturday and an opportunity meeting at Carla Wilson's house. Thursday night, I think we're having a meeting at Wendy's house. We're going to have multiple meetings. We'll finalize all those this coming week. So if you've got guests in that area, let us know. Get in touch with Wendy or Carla or Destiny. And guys, get me in front of people. If you're on my team and you know people there, get me in front of some people, right? I told them I'll work as hard as you want, as long as you feed me. Okay? As long as you feed me. I'm good with that, right? And you guys know that next month we have Building Depth and next month we have LifeVantage Academy. So guys, it's a commitment to doing one thing a month, maybe two, okay? Maybe two, but normally just one Saturday a month commitment. You can look at my paper calendar and you will see all the LifeVantage events in here and everything else scheduled around it, okay? You don't have to do what I want. I'm just going to tell you what I do. But you know what? I will tell you, there's certain things that I've learned from day one in this thing. If you want what other people have, you do what they do. I don't know about you, but I'm not happy with my check. I'm not happy with the people that I'm reaching. I'm not happy with the amount of people that I'm able to help. Right? And like Stacy just said, right? It is what it is, right? Yes, you can do that. I'm actually, it's funny, Tracy or Sherry, that you brought that up because Debbie just texted me and I was going to have her on, but she got my message too late. So I'm going to have her on. I'm going to have her on next week. Lisa and her, did you communicate with her?
She says she'll be in church, but she thinks she'll be out on time. That's why she didn't get your message. She was in church.
Oh, okay. It's okay. So let's get started. How many of you would like to see these slides that Jennings, Waterhouse, and Erica Dale made? Now, I don't know if you guys saw this, but how many of you have started to follow Erica a little bit since I had her on our call a couple weeks ago? Anybody? Okay. Some of you. Okay. So let me just tell you this. Erica enrolled. You guys remember, she's never done this before. Never. She hated Facebook and social media. All right. She signed up 20 people in January. 20 people. Okay. And when I went over these slides of theirs, her and Jennings signed up 12. I don't know if you looked on stage at the people who got the most points in Cancun, but 4 out of the top 6 were Building Depth people. Just saying. James Hayden, okay, Jason, Sam Flake, David Meisner. Like I said, guys, just look. It was there, written on the wall. The top 4, 3 out of the top 4 were Building Depth people. Okay, I'm just telling you, consistent message, right? And so, let me just share these with you. I want to share these with you. I'm so grateful that they told me that I could use these because it's really good, and it's what both of them shared. And you guys can see that I'm telling the truth. I'll show you. This is right from what they shared when they spoke together on stage in Long Beach just a couple months ago. Okay, they gave us the slides. So here, let's go over some of these. All right, I'm gonna shrink you guys up to the top so everybody can see. Okay. All right. And if you have a question, just unmute yourself and ask. Okay. So what does your profile say about you? Okay. Right. Facebook etiquette, Facebook posts. You guys know now Corporate's on us big time. Okay. So if you look, this is Erica's profile. Okay. Erica has a lot of curiosity on her page. Okay. A lot of curiosity, like what is a Pro 7? What is macro missionary? What is the University of Natural Health? You know, lives in Indianapolis, Indiana. You know, what is the CEO of macro missionary? She creates a lot of curiosity. Do you guys see the word Pro Tandem, the word Life Vantage, or any of that stuff listed on here? The answer is no. Okay. And then this is what she talks about when she talks about Facebook posts. Just look at some of the stuff that she has on here, guys. She constantly has things that are creating curiosity. There's nothing that is out of the ordinary. And you guys look, she constantly creates curiosity. And then she throws in some things that corporate has approved, like pictures. You know, there's pictures. You guys can see this. Here's stuff that she posts. Okay. Now, look, this is something that I learned from her today, and I took some notes on, is that there's this spot over here on the menu on the left-hand side where you can click Discover People. Okay. This is how she gets some of her leads, right? Guys, you can have unlimited leads if you want. And then you can be constantly building relationships with people and getting them to the next step. If you I just asked her, she said, Michael, I just follow the way, I just do this business the way we were taught. I use third-party validation. I take people from one step to the next. And if you just look, this is how she builds friends. Guys, I'm just going to tell you this. I took off 400 friends on my Facebook yesterday, and I'm going to take off 600 more tomorrow. Okay. And probably another couple hundred there. People that are not active in Life Vantage. And look, if you guys want Life Vantage, seeing your people, and Ben posted today from Rich Scott. Okay. Rich Scott and I are like this. He Marco Polos me at least once a week. Okay. And he left me this really awesome message, because I left him a real cool message about his birthday. Most of you guys know that Grapefruit Axio has been discontinued until they have whatever they have left, and then it's going to be gone because they've had some that's going to expire. They're proposing new flavors. Okay. We won't know that. Supposedly Jason told me that we should know that in the next week or two, but they will probably launch it and tell people at the regionals. Just saying, another reason for you guys to be able to go and find out, right? Yeah. Oh, it's sold out now, Sherry? Okay. So there you go. So guess what? No more Grapefruit Axio. My wife was like, oy vey. See how that works, right? So how many of you, let me just see, how many of you did not know that you could click this Discover and find out people that you had mutual friends with? Everybody's raising their hand. So did you guys already learn something tonight? Was it worth you coming on the call already? Yes, it is. It was worth it for me, right, Stacy? We learn stuff every single time we're on here, right, Mike? We get the opportunity. Hey, Ken, how you doing? Hey, guys, how are you, Kendra? You guys, and Jane says it to me all the time. You know, hey, Michael, I learned this tonight. Hey, Michael, you know, if she has a question, she'll message me and say, hey, Michael, I have this person. Can you tell me who would be the best person to share with them? Right? Guys, that's what you'd use. Jane is not on my team. Am I going to deny her because she's not on my team? No. A rank or a position should never change you. So right here is a good place for you to start discovering people. I'll tell you this. I have more leads right now than I know what to do with. Okay. I have more leads right now than I know what to do with. So what's my next? No, they said that. I seen a post today, Stacy, but that's not the one. That was just a curiosity post that they're asking if people would like orange. So I'll tell you this, Jason's going to tell me as soon as we know. So I will let you guys know as soon as we know. But guys, look at how Erica has created some relationships with people by going to the discover people on her page. So as you guys can see, this is her page over here. And so I don't know how that happened. I didn't mean to click that, but so she clicks on here and then you can see kind of what she's doing. Do you guys all know where that is? All right, Mike, bring back Pear. That's what I'm talking about. That's my boy.
No.
That's my boy right there. How you doing? Yeah, bring back Pear, Axio. That's what I'm talking about. I actually found, guys, if you guys don't know my story, I know, see Julia's laughing. I found a Pear Axio when I was moving and it was out of date and I didn't care. Right, Mike? I didn't care. And I still used it. And it tastes like, because Mike's a baseball coach and he knows it tastes like Bazooka bubble gum. And man, if you're a baseball person, you guys, they even got big buckets of Bazooka bubble gums in every Major League Baseball dugout. You can see the big thing. And that's why I like it. My wife's just saying, oh my gosh, she's shaking her head beside me. But so guys, use this. Get yourself a notebook and start using this and start writing names down of people that you discover their friendship with. And then, but if you do not write their name down in a booklet, you will forget to go back and follow up with them. I'm just telling you guys this. My wife and I talk about it all the time. It's why I got organized. It's why, guys, I don't know if you can see this. I don't know if you guys can see this, but this is a basket full of business cards that I collected. Do you think I'm going to share with these people? Absolutely. Are you kidding me? There's close to 200 business cards in here. Okay. I might have dropped a boat on a couple of them, but it's okay. Right? It's all right. It's all good. Right? It's why how many touches does the average person take to sign up? 5 touches, right? You guys know how many, Daniel tried me every Friday for 6 months. That's lots of, over 30 touches, right? So,
4 times 6.
yeah, right? So, okay, so let's go on to this next page. All right, so here's what you have to look by finding people. Groups, search events, Facebook pages, and ads. Now, I didn't even know this today, and I found this out. Groups. You find groups that you are passionate about, okay? Always groups that you are passionate about, okay? And you always comment on the post, and then you write a note down about, and then, guys, I'm just telling you, this is what Erica told me that's got her constantly signing up 10 to 20 people a month. How many of you would just like to sign up 5 more people a month? I'm raising my hand, right? It'd be nice to sign up 3 or 4 or 5 people every month, right? Because then at the end of the year, how many have we signed up? We signed up a lot, right? And how much has our business increased? A lot, right? So add friends and start conversations outside the group. I am not going to tell all of you a group that I've got involved in that has got me massive leads, because you guys will go there and take them. No, I'm just kidding. Mike knows I would tell you anyway. But I'll just tell you this. I joined a gut testing group where they test your gut, right? And you guys, Mike knows that I do DNA testing, and it works. Mike can tell you it works. Like you get your hair, nail, and saliva tested, and they'll tell you everything. They'll tell you your cellular age stinks, and then you do some changes, and then it'll tell you that it changed, right? And I have found, I'll just tell you guys this. I have 22 leads right now out of that group, okay? And I have about 14 conversations going with people right now, okay? So how many of you would even take 14 customers out of that group? All of you. Because what do customers potentially lead to? When 60% of people that join LifeVantage were customers before they became distributors. You guys understand that? 60% of them. You guys know how Rachel Jackson and Tara Wilson and all them came into LifeVantage? They were sick, and they used our products to see if they wanted to join our business. They're smart network marketers, okay? So let's go over this. So here's something that I took notes on today from Erica. I can do it for you, Trace. Anywhere, Mexico or Canada. So the events is again over here on the side of your profile. You can see where it says events, and then connect with people. She said 4 of her enrollments last month were people that were suggested friends that were at an event that was close to her. And what do you think she did? She connected with it. Do you think it would be cool to go to some networking events? Yes. The answer is yes. Anytime you can go to a networking event where there's people that you guys, I'll just tell you this, and I'm still blown away by it. I go to a church that has 800 members now. We just started going. And how many people do you think in my church know about LifeVantage? Two. Two. Well, yeah, two. And guess what? Those two have not told anybody in the church. How many of you know that people can be paralyzed from their upline? Okay, can be paralyzed from their upline. Their upline got kicked out, and they quit. So they've been talking to Lisa and I about re-signing up underneath us. We didn't bring it up to them. They brought it up to us. They feel, and it's really funny, all 6 of the people above them basically quit and because of one person. And how many of you people know that one bad egg can lead to several bad eggs, right? That's why if we surround ourselves around people that are encouraging and leading us in the right direction, we can. And I thought this was great how Erica put this together. So well, let's go on to the next one I know because you guys might have questions. So here's how you find Facebook groups. Okay. You can see that Erica's husband, Jesse, who did not support her in this business in the very beginning, right? He was a bodybuilder, right? So they started just going to networking events, and they started meeting people. So you find one, you like it, click the like button, and then you interact and you make friends. Guys, there's so many people looking for the information that you have. She told me one group that her and Jesse joined. She said in 1 month, they got 21 customers in 1 month. Okay. 21 customers in 1 month. Okay. Why? Because they just followed the system. They gave value, right? They gave value. And I know that Stacy will just give me a thumbs up from this, but Stacy follows my friend George Bryant, right? And and Stacy, you can agree with me or disagree with me. I don't know anybody that is as successful as George that doesn't sell things on Facebook. That doesn't, he's looking to, now, does he do sales? Absolutely, he does sales. But he gives more value than any marketer on Facebook that I've ever followed or ever known. And Stacy has told me that he agrees with me on that. Like George gives value. He invests in you as a person. So if you guys go in these groups, you have to be really careful about what you say, what you do, and how you interact. Remember, you are not trying to sell them pro tandem. You are not trying to build a business with them. You are trying to build a relationship. Now, let me ask you guys this. Let me see how you paid attention. What is your number one? There's 3 things that you want to obtain when building a relationship with them. You want them to do 3 things with you. You want them to, number 1, know you. Number 2, like you. And number 3, trust you. Okay? Know, like, and trust. After they've known you, liked you, and trust you, then you can take and start to share the information with them. Why? Because nobody wants to be sold anything without feeling like they have a relationship with someone. Okay? Okay. Here's how I have invested in a relationship. All right. And you guys know that I'm vulnerable. I don't look back at my past, but here is, what I try to do is if I've failed, and it's really funny, they talked about this in church today. I go back and I try to build a relationship with people no matter whether I was right or they were wrong, or I was wrong or they were right. It doesn't matter who's right or wrong. It's the person that builds the relationship and restores it. Like I'll tell you this, I have made, and I'll just use it because she's on and I can see her. I have invested in reestablishing a relationship with Julia. Why? Because Julia has been the strongest friend that my wife has ever had in her entire life, and vice versa. They've always been there for each other. They've never judged each other. When people told Lisa, things, to leave, to do what Julia was always there for her, praying for her, encouraging her. Same thing we did for her, right? And same reason why Lisa will step out of something and go and talk to Julia, like we were in the movies, right? And she's like, I said, go talk to her, right? Like we can watch the movies again, right? How many of you know that you can go back and watch the movie again? Especially if you have AMC, you get to go 12 times a month for $20. So you can always go back and you can always watch the movie again. So invest in people, guys. You guys, your database should be expanding every day. Now, I'm going to go back to this before I go on to the next slide. Please do me a favor. I know you're not going to like this. I know you're not going to like this, but please, I'm going to go back to Rich Scott, okay? Rich took me off of Facebook and told me he was taking me off. Does anybody know why one of my best friends in LifeVantage that I've known since he signed up? Do you guys know that Rich Scott's enrollment number is lower than mine? Rich Scott enrolled in this company. Now I'm going to tell you how good of a friend and how much I know about Rich. Rich enrolled in this company, made it to Pro 5 and sold his position, which a lot of you don't know that. Then he re-enrolled back in the company and made it to Pro 6 starting over again. Okay? Do you think that he followed a system? Yes. You know what he did? He eliminated all of his friends that were LifeVantage distributors on Facebook so that those weren't the people that were getting his content. Okay? If I'm having fun with my wife and Julia, like I'll tell you, one of the posts that I posted that got great feedback from me was when I took a picture of Julia and my wife hugging at an event. Okay. Why? Because people like to see friends having fun together. Okay. It's about friends having a relationship. So as you guys go through this and you do this and you get into these groups, make sure that you have, guys, I have a notebook like this. I don't know if you guys, I hope you guys can see this, that has tabs on them. Okay. One tab is for Facebook. One tab is for LinkedIn, and one tab is for Instagram. Okay. How many of you think that might be a smart thing if you want to stay organized to know where you're sharing with people and how you're sharing with it? Okay. And then I just added, I'll just say it really loud. Maybe you guys won't hear me. This group that I found 20 some leads in, it's called Volume. So I don't know if you guys heard that, but Mike's laughing, so maybe he heard me. But I have a whole list of Volume app on my thing down here now for that Volume thing, and it's now for all those people. So and now tomorrow I'm going to make a tab for all the business cards of people that I've received from while I'm on airplanes. Okay, let's move on. All right. So here's the next thing. Now, here's what I learned today for myself that I cannot believe I didn't know this. Did you guys know whether you love or hate ads? You know, the ads that you get that scroll down when you scroll down through your Facebook and you see Dean Graziosi. Do you guys know that you can control whose ads you see and what you like? It's called Control How Data Influences the Ads You See and Learn More About How the Ads Work. Review when you go to the ads account manager. How many of you have a business Facebook page? Does anybody have a business Facebook page? Okay. I'll just tell you this. If you don't, make one. Okay. Make a business Facebook page. It's free. It's easy. You can add more than 5,000 friends. Just tell you that. All right. So, and here's one of the really cool things. And I struggled with this. I'm just going to tell you this. But when I realized this, and I'll just give you guys some little bit of a hint. I'm going to teach a little bit of this at Building Depth here in the next couple of weeks that I think is going to make a massive impact in people's lives. Because when you control the ads that you see, I'm just going to tell you this. If you comment on ads, people will build relationships with you, okay? How many of you know that I have become really good friends with Eric Thomas, who's one of the top motivational speakers in the country and who spoke at GoPro and knocked it out of the park, right? Okay. Eric has different things and we laugh because he knows that I comment on his things and I build relationship with people who comment on his stuff. How many people know that somebody can be negative and comment on people's stuff, right? Okay. So I build relationships with people because I know, what do you think people are doing while they're searching for things? They're looking for interests and likes and relationships, right? So when you do this, just look at what it says. It says, ads, love them or hate them, choose to use them. Change your ad settings, add interests you like, and then interact with people on the ads that you like. So I'll just tell you this. I did this today and it got rid of a lot of the ads that I didn't like to see. How many of you would like to get rid of ads you don't like to see and get ones that you do like to see so that you can build relationships? What if it was ads for biohacking? What if it was ads for gut testing? What if it was ads for inflammation? Okay. Do you guys think you might have the availability to build some relationship with people like that? The answer is yes. Okay. 5 of my new prospects this month came off of the ads. Okay. I didn't like the ads, but I liked the people. And when you like the people, you can, and now that I know that I can change the ads that I'm getting, I'm going to search for ads that have people that I like. Okay. Does that make sense to everybody? You guys understand this? Pretty simple, right? All right. So here's the thing. While building relationships, I shared this with you earlier. You want people to be attracted to you. Okay. So let me tell you something you don't want to do. Okay. You may get mad at me for saying this, but don't talk about politics. Okay. All right. I made a mistake. You guys know I'm passionate about things. I made a mistake of a prospect that I think my wife was, and I could have signed up in LifeVantage, but I mentioned something about the president and she blocked me from Facebook. So I didn't get mad. I just told her, I just said, hey, did I offend you? And she didn't respond. So I looked and sure enough, and I was in a mastermind with her for 3 years, 2.5 years. Okay. So don't comment on politics. You know that there's one thing that don't look, those of you that are married, please do this. Make sure that you're not having conversations with the opposite sex without your spouse knowing what you're doing. Okay. You don't have to agree with me. I'm just telling you that you want to protect your relationships with people and with your spouse and your friends, especially if you're in a long-term relationship. So I don't know about you guys, but that is second in command to God is that person that's sitting right next to me, right? So try to understand people, try to build trust in people. This is one of the things that I really like about this stuff. So look at this. Look at what Barbara White said. Building trust is a prospect. Trust results from consistent and predictable interaction, right? Over time. You guys understand that? Think about that a little bit, right? Think about that. Build trust in a process. Trust results from consistent and guys, longer relationships build people up, okay? I really can't believe that making one decision at getting back to doing what we did in the beginning, when Tyler and Marcel and Blue took me aside and said, what's going on? And now all these people are coming to me saying, what are you doing? I feel like I'm losing my people. I feel like I'm losing my business. And I just got back to doing what was simple and easy. The old KISS method, right? Mike and I talk about it when it comes to our health, right? You know, I saw a video today from Cancun Legacy, and I saw Mike on the video. I don't know if you've seen it yet. Mike, did you know you're on the video? Yeah, all right. So look at this, okay? I love this. Consistency, vision, value, and participation. So these are the things that you need to focus on. Your vision, giving value to people. Like I see Bert. I'm looking at Bert right now. Okay. Bert is a people person, right? Okay. He knows his mission and he knows the value that he can give, right? Like I still can't believe he doesn't have a cowboy hat on tonight. But I think maybe 1 out of 10 times I've seen him, he's not had one on. Maybe I might have been mistaken. But guys, that's something that Bert can relate to people from, right? He can, they know that that's a trait and a value and a respectable thing of him. So when you're doing these things, the more value you give to people, the better your relationship will go for you to get them to participate in hearing information. Okay, I will just tell you this, and I'm going to post it this week, but on Wednesday night, Michelle Poe is doing a presentation with Dr. Gundry, or Dr. Gandhi, who is one of the top 50 cardiologists in the world. Okay, I'm going to post it, and you know what? I talked to Michelle about this today. Actually, she said that Dr. Gundry came in because the person that signed her up just constantly gave her value and participated in a lot of the things that she was sharing and doing. She didn't try to impose the stuff on there. A lot of you guys will go into groups and you'll impose yourself, and people will say, oh, that person's here to sell something. Instead of just giving value, like in that gut testing volume thing that I'm involved in, I give tons of value. And Mike's laughing because he knows I'm going to tell him sooner or later. But the value that I give in that group, I have it set up to my favorites, and I get 10 to 15 responses every single day. Do you think giving value to what? How many of you would like to give value inside one group every couple days and then get 10 to 15 responses from the value that you give? Raise your hand. I'm raising my hand, right? How many of you would like to do that, right? Okay, so that's what I'm saying. That's the key. So look at what Simon Sinek said. It's better to have a great team than to have a team of greats. That's so powerful, you guys, right? Here's what I like that Jennings posted, right? Team building, promotion and mission, recognition and celebration. So I'm going to start implementing some of these things with our team. Community and friendship, coaching and teaching, fun, and then FOMO. So I'm going to put these slides in both of our team pages. And if you can't find them in our Freedom Fighters or our Team Build It Up page, just private message me and I'll send them to you, okay? So look at this. This is what allows Gloria and Jennings to create a culture. Now, I'm just going to share this with you guys because if you haven't had a chance to watch those videos that are on the LifeVantage Independent page, Jason did one, and I showed it at the beginning on how to develop leaders, right? Jennings is in his downline, right? Look at some of the things that Jennings posts to encourage her team. This is her team page. And so she does this. And so Lisa and I are going to start implementing a lot of these things on our team page. When you sign up a customer, go into the page and say, hey guys, welcome my new customer, my friend so-and-so. I've known her for this long. It builds up people. We want people to feel like they're special, right? Look at the stuff that's on this page. The lifestyle stuff that she's posting. Here she is at Dave and Joanne's house, driving their Jeep, playing golf, You know, here she is doing stuff with another one of her teammates. Here's a picture of her with Taylor Worry. You know, she's creating all of this curiosity with people. You know, I don't know if I shared this with you guys a while back, but I took a picture with James Hyden and Mark Harris and a bunch of other people. And I had a Thrive hat on. You guys know that there can be confusion there. There's a network marketing company called Thrive. It's called Lavelle, but their product is Thrive. James crossed out the thing in my hat because he didn't want anybody to think that he was in another network marketing company. And let me tell you how I know he was true. At first I was like, really? And then I had a girl that I prospected who was a bodybuilder. And she came to me and she goes, you switched and went to that patch stuff from all that stuff you taught me. See? So listen to me. You want to pique curiosity. You don't want to sell people. You want to pique curiosity and you want people. Look, networking is more about farming than it is about hunting. Guys, get that? It's more about farming than it is about hunting. Okay, now, I hope that gave you guys some new insight, a little bit on a lot of the things that we should be doing from a social media perspective. So let me just ask you guys, does anybody have a question about anything that we shared? How many of you learned something different that you think you can implement this week in time frame? Now let me just tell you guys this before you knew. You need to be using a calendar, okay? A paper. Hey, John Maxwell and Tony Robbins use a paper calendar, okay? They use a paper calendar. You're not too good to use a paper calendar. Now, I'll just tell you this. I screwed up and didn't use a paper calendar. And I started missing appointments and overlapping appointments because my phone was screwing up. But if my phone wasn't screwing up and I had it in a paper calendar, would I have made the mistakes? No. I'll tell you what I did do. I don't know if you guys saw this, but I screenshotted it and showed you guys. I put my first 2 weeks of the year in my phone, okay? And then I realized nobody could schedule an appointment with me because I had every single thing in my phone, from taking a shower to eating food to meal prepping to quality time with Lisa to, you know, everything, right? So then nobody could make an appointment with me, right? That was dumb. So what do you think I did? I got a paper calendar, right? I got a paper calendar. And these paper calendars are not cheap. So, but let me tell you something. They're worth it. Even if they're $20, right? I think this was $20. Use Amazon. It's cheaper on Amazon, just so you guys know. And let me tell you what, I made a lot of mistakes because when we moved, how many calendars do you think I found that I bought that I didn't use? How many of you are guilty of that when you go and you find things that you bought and you're like, oh, I'm going to use this? Like, I'll just tell you this. How many of these do you think I found when I moved? Anybody want to guess? I'll tell you what I do. I'll give you guys a prize if anybody can come close to guessing how many of these things I found. Like, here's one from ClickFunnels, right?
20.
10,
I said 20.
All right. Anybody else?
10.
32.
Who said 32?
Richard.
Okay, Richard said 32.
Same as me.
Julia said 25. Anybody else gonna guess?
7.
7, Sherry says. Come on, Bert. Bert's gonna guess it right. Watch. Bert's scared to guess, aren't you, Bert?
Come on, Bert, tell him.
22.
Okay, it's close. Over 40.
Wow.
Okay, over 40. All
So
right.
the 37 was the closest.
I think it was about 47, actually, somewhere between 47 and 50. Okay, so you know what that was? You know what that's?
37 or whatever.
I don't know who guessed 37.
There's a 52 out there too.
Richard did.
Okay, somebody said 52. Who
Yep.
said that?
Carla,
Oh, Carla Wilson. Bingo. I'll give it to both Richard and Carla Wilson, because Carla Wilson, I'll see in 2 weeks. I'll give her your gift. And Richard, I'll send you I got something for you too. So that's another thing. You guys know what that was called? Finding all those books? Stupidity. Because you know what I did? I invested a lot of money in things that I did not take action on. Okay. I went to events and took pages and pages of notes and didn't implement it. Right? That day stopped. And let me just say this. I say this with complete humility and integrity. My identity is no longer, and I said this before we started recording, my identity is no longer in what other people say about me. My past is my past. My present is my present. Right? I had a coaching client say to me that I had no right. Now, somebody paying me a lot of money to coach them told me I had no right giving them marriage advice. Okay. Because of my marriage past, right? Guys, it gives me more because I've overcame all that. Like, if I want to learn from somebody who's been constant in who he is and what he's in, I mean, I look at Bert. Like, Bert's message has always been consistent. He's never wavered in who he was. He's never deviated from what he's done from day one. Nothing has changed. Okay. So if I want to go back and learn from somebody, do you guys know that you turning your mess into a message is the best way to inspire people? Taking things that you've learned and then teaching other people how to not make the same mistakes that you made. Do you guys know why I just shared all this with you? So you don't do the same thing I did, right? The best coach takes things that people struggle with and are vulnerable enough to say, hey, I've struggled with it too. Let me show you how I overcame it. Let me show you how I overcame it, right? And I said this today, like I'll finish with this. And if anybody has a comment or a question, wants to share something, I would love you guys to, because we got 2 minutes. So, but here's the thing. Never be afraid to be vulnerable. Never be afraid to be open and honest. And remember that your identity is not in, it's not about who's right or who's wrong. It's about forgiveness and restoration and friendships and building relationships. I don't want to win a fight with my wife. I don't want to have any, but I don't want to win one because I have a sign downstairs.
I got that on recording.
I have a thing downstairs that says "Happy Wife, Happy Life," right? And those of you that are married, even if you're female, you should probably know that that's the right thing. So, and so let me ask you guys a real quick question before we go. Does anybody have a question or a comment, maybe about something they learned tonight, maybe about something that they can share in 1 or 2 minutes that has inspired them, or something that they are doing that's working that we might be able to encourage each other with? Anybody got a couple takeaways maybe from tonight? Did anybody get some value out of this tonight?
I get value from everything you do, Michael. This is
Thank
Tracy
you.
speaking.
Thank you.
I would like just a little bit of clarification, because we've seen that, or I've seen that video or slide presentation for the Facebook, but there is spots there where the word LifeVantage is used. And again, especially because where we are with compliance, and maybe Bert will be able to answer this if you can't. I thought we weren't even on our homepage or our business pages allowed to use, or should not be using, the word LifeVantage.
No,
or
you can use the
Protandim.
word. You can use the word LifeVantage. You just can't relate it to anything that implies to treat, prevent, or
Wellness
cure,
or treat.
or anything
Okay.
like that. You can. The reason I'm saying that is because you don't want to. It's the same reason James crossed out the name on my hat, right? Because he wants to be the one to tell the people, look, every once in a while, somebody's going to see LifeVantage, right? That it's bound to determine to happen, but it's better if they know who you are and what you're doing, and you've already shared that information with them. Guys, Tracy, this is a good question. And then we'll ask him, maybe there's one other person wants to ask him. Here's a good question that Tracy lead in. I believe everybody says something that's meant to be said. So here's why you want to take your friends and not have everybody on LifeVantage be your friends on Facebook. You can follow them, but don't be their friends, okay? Because they're the ones that's seeing all your stuff. You don't want them being the ones to save your stuff. Guys, I just told you I took over 300 and some people that were LifeVantage people, many of them that you guys have as friends that aren't even in LifeVantage anymore, okay? So if you want the right people to build a relationship with, guess what? You can follow LifeVantage people without being their friends on Facebook, okay? That's why it's important. Bert, did you want to say something?
No, I just wanted to add a comment to that, because I have one of my Pro Sixes invited Aaron Johnson, which we've been told to do, to invite him into your page.
Yeah, we did that.
And he will automatically delete posts that aren't compliant, okay?
Yep.
Now, I can't imagine how in the world he could ever do that with as many pages are out there today, but he did come in and he took things down that I thought were compliant myself. I mean, but he didn't think it were. So my discussion with Eric is, let's go back to the old days, just like Mike said. Don't let this stop you from talking, you guys. Please do not let this stop you from talking.
Amen.
Okay? Yes, we want to be compliant. Yes, we want to follow the rules. It's real simple. How did you rebound when you were young? I ask people that. You sprung right back. You repaired quickly, right? If I could show you a way to do that again in your body at your age, can we sit down and talk for 30 minutes? You know, no disease, no product, no nothing. Remember at the beginning, guys, we taught people, don't talk about Dr. McCord, don't talk about Protandim, don't talk about disease. Just sit down with them and build that relationship and talk to them about how cool this thing is we have, you know?
That's
it.
That's all you got. And thank you for sharing that, Bert, because here's what we do. We have it, and this is good because Bert just said it. Him and I are the same. Like, we're getting back. I said this in the beginning for Bert. Like, I'm getting back. I'm going to go, guys. There are so many people out there looking right now. Our health, people's health. Like, I looked at pictures of Lisa and I from 8 years ago, and we look younger. Like, I can tell you right now, if I'm just telling you, I can look at a picture from Bert from 10 years ago, and I can bet you he looks younger. Why? Because we know what we're doing works, right? How many of you ever heard that the proof is in the pudding?
Yeah.
Right? Like when I was coaching Mike, and he did a couple things to change his eating habits and his exercising habits, his cellular age even dropped even more than it was already. It was already low, but it dropped even more, because here's what you have to educate people. People can't just look for that fix, right? It's a lifestyle of what they do. That's why when you celebrate getting a new customer and you put them on a team page and you say, hey, look, this is my friend Jane. She's a new customer who is excited about taking our products. Everybody welcome Jane, right? What do you think that makes Jane feel? Like, hey, I just got involved in a family, right? I just got involved. Exactly. So I'm going to let you guys go. I am going to have a guest hopefully next week, a Dr. Debbie Viglione. And I'm going to preface this really cool story for you guys before we go. So I don't know if you guys know who Dr. Debbie Viglione is, but she is on the field medical advisory board for the company. She's on a lot of the videos and stuff. And it's really, really funny how I built a relationship with Debbie. A lot of you guys know, I'm going to make it short. A lot of you guys know that Lisa just recently met her biological father after 50 years. Okay. And stupid me, I took her to a movie for Valentine's Day. And guess what it was about? A girl finding her biological father after so many years. So my wife cries through the whole movie on Valentine's Day. What a dummy, right? Like, okay, Mike, way to go. Way to take your wife to a movie that is her life story. And like, I'm constantly, you guys know the tissue thing, you pull one and you give it, right? And then the next thing I know, I'm sobbing, crying, right? But here's the story. Oh yeah, Julia just said it's nothing rare for Lisa to cry. Thank you, Julia. Yay. So here's the story. So Lisa's biological father comes and we meet him. He's from Pensacola area. And we start talking and he says, what do you guys do? And we told him a little bit about what we do. And he goes, I think my doctor does something like that. And remember, first time she's ever met her biological father. And I said, who's your doctor? And he said, Dr. Debbie Viglione. And I was like, no, it's not. And he said, yes, it is. And they were talking. I go in the other room and I call Debbie on the phone and I tell her the story. She says, Michael, you just made me cry. She goes, he was one of my favorite patients. Now listen how cool to God this is. She goes, I tried to buy his house, but I couldn't afford it. And then he sold it to somebody else and moved away. And I was sad when he moved away. She goes, I just got one question for you. Did you sign him up? That's what she said. I just got one question for you. Did you sign him up? And guess what? Lisa signed him up. She's like, I knew I should have tried to sign him up. So just remember that there's people out there that you have already shared with that you haven't circled back to follow up with. Just think about a great story that is, right? Like Lisa building a relationship. Hey, I think my doctor does something like that, right? And then you find out what happens. It's the constant daily build of building this relationship. So jump a hold of my coattails, guys. I'm ready. If you want to start doing some massive exposures to some three-way phone calls and taking this thing to the next level, let's go. I love you guys. I'm grateful for every single one of you. I will see you next Thursday or next Sunday, and I hope it's with Debbie. Remember, you're getting close to the end of the month. Check your customers. We've had to go back and check a lot of credit cards and stuff have been changed. Make sure that you're treating your business like a business, not like a hobby. God bless you guys. I love you. Have a great week. Appreciate you all.
How about
Bless you, everybody. Thank